Atoto have just released their P10 Pro dashboard console, so let's see what this car screen is all about. With a large widescreen for CarPlay, Android Auto and a huge array of apps, as well as dual front dash cams, a wireless reversing camera, a battery control unit with fast charging and multiple layers of AI integration, this screen has far more features than most and some that I've never even seen before. And just so you know, I've teamed up with Atoto to share the new P10 Pro, which at the time of filming is currently crowdfunding on Kickstarter and will be available in other outlets soon too. I've put affiliate links to places you can currently buy one in the description below if you like what you see. With that out of the way, let's get started with the video. The main screen is 10¼ inches across and features a fixed camera on the top which faces the vehicle. There are 2 microphones on the bottom of the screen too for clearer calls and voice commands. Turning it over, you've got a second camera for filming the road ahead of you, and this tilts and turns to get the best angle. Both cameras film Full HD 1080 resolution footage and are dash cams, so record footage as you drive. Also on the back of the device you have a light sensor, as the screen has auto brightness to adjust between day and night driving, something I always like to see. There's a power button too, though the device will automatically turn on when you start the vehicle. Below that is a USB-C port for loading music files or transferring files via a USB stick. And then there's the WRC port, which stands for wireless rear camera, and this is what the receiver will plug into, but more on that later. Finally, there's a manual reset button before we move to the center for the mounting point, into which this mount securely fits. There are also speakers and air vents here too. At the bottom of the screen are a lot of ports. Starting on the left is a SIM card slot. If you have a card like this one which is included in the box, then you can use the Atoto app to live view the cameras remotely to keep an eye on your car and make use of live alerts from the vehicle too. Next to that is the USB-C port for powering the device. There are 2 ways to do this. The first is via the included 12V port and a USB-C to USB-C cable, though there's only a very short one included in the box, so you'd need to buy a long one separately. The second way to power the screen is via this cup holder device called an Autonap by Atoto. I'll go through it and what the controls do later in the video. Next is the 3.5mm aux port for wired audio, and there's an aux cable included to connect your car. To the right of that is a 2.5mm AV port for if you want to use a wired rear camera, though one isn't included in the box. Finally, there's a slot for a memory card for recording footage from the cameras, though there also isn't one included in the box. Getting the P10 Pro screen installed in your car is pretty easy. Amongst a plethora of accessories in the box, you'll find the dashboard mount which is needed for the first step. Whilst it looks kind of similar to some other mounts I've used in the past, it is hands down the sturdiest, with the adjustable arms being made of metal. The ball at the top pops into the mounting plate which fits on the back of the screen and is tightened in place. You can bend the arm in multiple directions so the screen can sit exactly where you need it to, and the hex bolts that hold it together can be tightened too, so it's a very sturdy hold. The rubber base has a large sticky pad and is flexible too to account for curved dashboards. To install, find a suitable space where you want the screen to go in your vehicle. I prefer having screens sat on my dashboard rather than overhanging the radio, but the option's there if you want it. Next, make sure the surface is clean, peel back the film and stick the mount down, pressing firmly for 30 seconds or so to ensure good adhesion. The screen can now be attached to the mount via the mounting plate, and it's ready for power. As mentioned, there are 2 power methods for the P10 Pro, and both use the included 12V adapter, which is slightly larger than most, but equipped with 2 fast charging USB-C ports, one offering 36 watts for power to the screen, and the other giving a very reasonable 18 watts to other devices such as a phone. You can power the screen via a long separately purchased USB-C cable, but perhaps the most interesting accessory, and one I've never seen before, is the Autonap cup holder control. Designed to give a more factory-like experience, it manages power from the vehicle's 12V socket, allowing clean shutdowns to protect recordings and settings, while enabling fast wake up when you return to your car. The Autonap sits at your nearest cup holder, which in my van is near the windows. However, due to the cable length, it's ideally for vehicles with cup holders in the centre. One wire plugs into the 12V adapter and the right angle one plugs into the screen. Once powered, it emits a Bluetooth signal which you'll need to connect to via the settings of the screen in order for the Autonap's controls to work. The large centre control wakes up Drive Chat, Atoto's AI assistant, that you can talk to while you're on the road. What's the weather in Falmouth today? And get to open apps and navigate.
Today in Falmouth, GB, March 5th, will be overcast with light rain developing later.
Turning the dial adjusts the volume, and you can also control music and phone calls, view front and rear cameras, activate Siri or Google Assistant, and return to the home page, all without touching the screen. When installing this, hide any wires wherever you can safely, and there are cable tidying accessories included in the box, but be sure to avoid blocking any airbags if you tuck cables into the car trim. There's one more element to complete the P10 Pro setup, and that's the reversing camera. Many dashboard consoles have wired ones, which need to be connected to the reversing bulb in order to trigger when going backwards. For simplicity, Atoto has gone for a completely wireless option here. The module is a cylindrical bar on a mount, which manually tilts up to 60 degrees to get your desired view of the road. As there's no wiring to do, the camera has a battery and is charged via the USB-C port and transmits the image back to the screen. Next to the charging port is a power button and a reset button. To install it, you'll need to fit the mounting plate behind your number plate. This means unscrewing it, and if the holes don't line up with those on the mounting plate, and they may not for all UK number plates, then use one of the included sticky pads, which will help secure it before you screw the number plate back and wedge it in place. To get it working, take the wireless video receiver, which consists of a wake or pair button and aerial. Plug the included USB-C cable into it, with the other end plugging into the WRC port on the P10 Pro screen. Make sure the camera is fully charged, press the power button for 2 seconds to turn it on, and then for 3 seconds to enter pairing mode. In use, it will power on for 2 minutes before returning to a power saving mode when not needed. The included instructions don't give enough setup detail, but scan the QR code printed on the camera to be taken to a more thorough version. You can also adjust various settings in the WRC app to get it just how you want it. In operation, there are a number of ways to activate the camera on your screen. You can tap the screen to use the app, press the wake pair button on the receiver, use voice commands via the Drive Chat app, or use this included Snap View remote, which will open and close the WRC app on a single press. I really like that the reversing camera isn't too big, as some can get a bit obtrusive, and other than charging the battery now and again, it will just be there and ready to use whenever you need it. Do make sure when installing the camera that it doesn't block the number plate in any way and complies with local laws. It's worth noting, however, that this is only a reversing camera and not a rear dash cam. I couldn't see that it records any footage like the front two cameras did. There's also a very slight delay on the reversing camera image, which is dependent on signal strength. When the vehicle turns on, the device boots immediately thanks to the Autonap controller, though the first turn on takes quite a while as Android boots up. The home screen is very useful, with a menu of shortcuts to phone settings, CarPlay or Android Auto, AI Drive Chat, music and apps along the left hand side. I use dashboard consoles primarily for their Android Auto and CarPlay capabilities, which are such great features. It's simple to set up too. On the P10 Pro, tap the phone symbol in the top left corner to access the Bluetooth connection screen. With your phone's Bluetooth on, search for it on the Atoto screen, tap Connect, then tap Connect on your phone screen. It will create a Wi-Fi connection too for stability. One final setting you'll need is to toggle Auto Enable CarPlay/Android Auto after BT connection, so that it'll launch every time you start your vehicle with your phone present. In CarPlay or Android Auto, you've got easy access to maps, music and communications. Going back to the home screen, a swipe down from the top gives you access to brightness, volume and other shortcuts. On the main screen is a live feed of the front camera, and you've got connection and music playback shortcuts in the middle, with a couple of apps below it which you can swap out for your preferred ones, and then a Google search bar at the bottom. On the right hand side is the weather, and as for most of the apps, you'll need to be connected to the internet via a Wi-Fi hotspot from your phone or a paid SIM card. The home screen is customizable, with other templates available in the settings. Heading into the app menu, as the P10 Pro is essentially a tablet for your car, it's not only loaded with Atoto's own software to provide apps, cameras and CarPlay, but also the latest Android. This gives you the ability to download pretty much any app you want, such as Netflix or YouTube from the Play Store. Obviously, don't be watching these while you're driving, but it does make this device really practical and customizable. You'll need to sign into a Google account to be able to download and use these. Of Atoto's own apps, DVR will take you to the front cameras, where a double tap will switch to split screen and a double tap on the camera you want to view will make it full screen. Tapping on the icons on the bottom of the image will give you a bunch of settings to play with. Lumi Auto allows you to control additionally available LED lighting. RCam is for wired rear cameras, though if you don't have one plugged in, you'll see a no signal message. Settings takes you to a comprehensive array of options to view Wi-Fi and connectivity, Google services, the screen's visuals, settings, and device info. Talk allows you to monitor various vehicle parameters if you have Atoto's OBD2 scanner plugged in, and they include this in the box as well. TPMC allows you to monitor your tyre pressure if you have Atoto's additional tyre pressure monitoring sensor system installed. Finally, WRC takes you to a view of the rear camera if it's connected, and you have a selection of settings to choose from too. Unlike traditional multi-camera setups that can require lots of wiring throughout the vehicle, the P10 Pro system is designed to be straightforward. The front-facing and internal cameras both film in Full HD 1080 resolution, which is a little on the low side for dashcams these days. That said, the P10 Pro makes up for it with a wide array of features to ensure that, when you need it, potential incidents are captured. These are emergency lock recording and cloud upload, a low power parking guard which films for up to 72 hours after the vehicle is turned off. There's also something called AI Vision, which monitors road conditions and alerts you to weather which might impact your driving. In everyday use, the 1080 resolution front camera captures essential details such as number plates and road signs, even in varied lighting, though be sure to tighten the mount so the screen doesn't wobble on your dashboard. At night, as with most dashcams, the front camera struggles with detail a little, though you'll be able to capture the majority of what you need. The internal camera is particularly useful for rideshare or family driving, remaining clear and sharp, and handles changing light levels well. At the rear, the wireless camera transmits a wide perspective that makes reversing and parking noticeably easier. But remember that it isn't recording footage, it's just showing you what's behind you in the moment. Overall, I've been impressed with the Atoto P10 Pro and think it'll be a great addition to pretty much any tech-sparse dashboard. During my testing, the screen was fast and responsive, and although it took a bit of getting used to the Autonap controller, it's become a great way to keep hands away from the screen while driving. I've tried to cover as much as possible in this video, but there's still a lot more to explore, making it a really versatile device. The addition of 3 cameras is fantastic, though it'd be great to see at least the front-facing lens upgraded to 2K or even 4K eventually, and for the rear camera to record footage too. If you'd like to get one for yourself, I've got affiliate links below which help support this channel at no extra cost to you. And if you've enjoyed this video, then please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.